Hello, Milwaukee Bucks fans. Welcome back to Bucks Latest, presented by FanArch. I'm your host, Dean Simon. Please consider liking, subscribing, and turning on those post notifications to stay up to date and in the know with all the latest Milwaukee Bucks updates. Alright, so first thing on the docket, while it's a little bit unexpected, the Milwaukee Bucks are beginning to become a little bit of a suitor for Al Horford throughout his ongoing free agency saga. I had basically thought that it was all but wrapped up, all but confirmed that Horford would be heading to the Golden State Warriors on a one-year deal as he's heading into his 19th season, though he can still obviously contribute to a competitive team and contribute on both ends of the floor. I thought it was all but wrapped up, that he would be a Warrior by the end of this summer, and that's what the league-wide sphere thought as well in terms of reports that are coming out. But Mark Spears, he actually reported that the Los Angeles Lakers, who also have been a pretty big suitor for Al Horford, and that was before and after they brought in Ayton and they re-signed Jackson Hayes, they're still looking for another guy, another front court piece off the bench to kind of solidify their front court rotation. And the Lakers, the Warriors, who both need floor spacing big men, and the Atlanta Hawks could be looking for a reunion with their five-time All-Star formerly, and he was really that guy for the Atlanta Hawks throughout the prime of his career. So Atlanta is in there as well as the Milwaukee Bucks, who could bring in Al Horford to slot in behind Giannis and behind Miles Turner, and kind of bring some continuity in off the bench in terms of, again, floor spacing, floor stretching, three-point shooting big men who also bring a two-way element to the court for the Milwaukee Bucks bench unit. A backup front court of Bobby Portis and Al Horford, while it may not sound super, intimidating in terms of the defensive side of the ball, Al Horford still put up a 1.1 defensive box plus minus this past year, and while I'm not the biggest advanced stat guy, that puts him in categories alongside some of the best defenders in the NBA, not even just in the front court, but all over the league. And of course, he still put up 9 points, 6.2 rebounds. He shot the three-pointer efficiently, though his efficiency overall from 2023-24 to 24-25 cratered. He went down to about 42% from the field, 36% from three. And while that is the case, and we're going to have to really analyze how he's moving on the court this next year, going into his age 39 season, again, season number 19 in the league, we're going to really have to start viewing how he moves up and down the court in a little bit of a different light. But Al Horford can still definitely contribute to a contending team. Of course, he has championship DNA from his 2024 run with the Celtics, just endless playoff experience and playoff DNA as well. So Al Horford for the Milwaukee Bucks, I mean, I would love to see it personally, because if anything, he could coach up Miles Turner a little bit, even if he's not producing at a level that we're used to on the court. He still has a lot of wisdom, a lot of things that he can offer in terms of tutelage for a guy like Miles Turner, who is following in his footsteps in some ways. Of course, the three-point shooting helps, but the athleticism, the shot blocking, Miles Turner is really starting to become one of the best two-way centers in the NBA, and Al Horford could definitely tutor him up a little bit on certain things and kind of take him under his wing. But that is if Al Horford isn't able to contribute anything on the court, which I think he still very much could, especially potentially sharing the court with Giannis in certain occasions. Giannis driving kicks to Al Horford in the corner. I mean, I see it in my head already. I'm already loving the figment of my imagination that I'm seeing right now if Al Horford were to go to the Milwaukee Bucks on a one-year deal. Anyways, moving forward, Tyler Smith so far this summer league is in the middle of a pretty incredible slump. He's averaging a little less than 6 points, 4 rebounds, but 23.1% from the field, 5.6% from three-point range, 57% from the free throw line through the first 3 games of Summer League, and that all equates to a rough 29.2% true shooting percentage. Though he was super efficient in the regular season this past year in his rookie year, 48 from the field, 43.3 from three, and of course in about 5 minutes per game, he's just got a pure left-handed shooting stroke, just a great jumper, great off the catch and off the dribble, great size, actual two-way potential, and for a guy that's as agile, as quick and as smooth as he is, not even just in terms of getting his jump shot off, but his ball handling, his ability to get his back to the basket, he's just so versatile, and there's really not much to dislike about Tyler Smith. It's just that he can't take this cap off of the basket at the moment, and nothing will fall. And it's really, watching him through these first 3 games, I don't even really have a problem with his shot selection or anything of the like. It's just that he can't get the shots to go. And honestly, for a player like him, where of course he has all of these athletic gifts and just all this potential to be a very well-rounded offensive player at the NBA level, 3-point shooting is his main niche, and he's going to keep jacking up threes as things go on this summer. And you can't really blame him for doing so, because that's how he was thinking about making his money in the NBA last year, and he proved that he is an incredibly consistent and really fun to watch jump shooter at the NBA level, regardless of if his minutes came in garbage time or not. But Tyler Smith has all the potential in the world, and he, again, I just cannot stress enough how versatile he is on the offensive end. For a guy with as much pure skill as him on the offensive end, it really stinks to, again, not see him be able to throw a rock in the ocean at this juncture in the Summer League. Hopefully he can turn things around, because I think there is still a place for him on the Milwaukee Bucks, despite what the box score numbers say, despite everything. What he showed me last year and in the G League as well, on an even grander scale, was that he can play NBA basketball and take on numerous numbers of roles, and you can throw him into any situation, and it seems like he can adapt, and that's my main thing that I got from watching Tyler Smith all of last year, and even so far in the Summer League. You can say that he's not able to throw a rock in the ocean on offense, but on defense, he's still averaging about 1.3 blocks a game, still great at the rim, as a intimidating rim deterrent. Again, at 6'10", 6'11", he should not be able to move the way that he does, not just on offense, but on defense as well. So I'm still very high on Tyler Smith. I don't think this is the end of the road for this kid, but, it's not looking pretty so far in Summer League. Anyways, Miles Turner recently came out and took some shots, not necessarily back at the Indiana Pacers, but at Indiana Pacers fans, kind of the front office a little bit. But he said that even in my time there's a lot of people that wanted me off the team, and now they got what they wanted, and now they're complaining still. I was damned if I did, damned if I didn't in that situation. That was kind of the way I looked at it. The negotiations, it's the part that the casual fan doesn't get to see, but I would say definitely you're going to take whatever storyline you want with this. And of course, he's completely right. Regardless of what he says, people are going to spin it a certain way, try and get reactions out of people, get clicks. And we have this heated rivalry, he continues, so no matter what I say, it's going to get twisted into whatever they want it to be for the narrative. There was no love lost with this entire situation. I just went and made the best decision for myself, and for my family moving forward. And he later said that the decision was ultimately about just staying competitive. And of course, after the Halliburton injury, you would imagine that this team is just emotionally drained after that playoff run, the finals run, taking the Oklahoma City Thunder to 7 games and going out the way that they did. Miles Turner, of course, didn't perform spectacularly at all in the 2025 NBA Finals, but he could figure that making the move to Milwaukee, regardless of how these two teams have interacted with each other over the past 2-3 seasons, that it was the best decision for him, because he pairs with Giannis in the front court, and they can potentially do something in an East, again, that's become completely wide open, with the Pacers now looking to be out of things, not even just with Halliburton going out, but now losing Miles Turner, with the Celtics and Jason Tatum probably being out of things. So I don't... it's hard to disagree with Miles Turner's take on this, and not even just from a Bucks perspective, but you had a lot of people, a lot of Bucks, or a lot of Pacers fans complaining about Miles Turner and basically begging for the team to kick him out. And now that he leaves and decides to join their rival in the Bucks, now it's the worst thing in the world. But for those Pacers fans, that's on you. And Miles Turner is now a Milwaukee Buck. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen there. And this rivalry has the potential to be one of the best over the past decade in the NBA, just because of everything that's been leading up to this point, with the NBA Cup games, with Giannis scoring the 64 points and then the Pacers stealing the ball allegedly and then giving it to a rookie who scored his first points, all of that stuff. This is, and not even talking about the playoff matchups, this is going to be an incredibly entertaining season from a Bucks Pacers perspective coming up soon, and I can't wait to see what happens. But last things last, a little fun thing is that Giannis Antetokounmpo placed at number 24 on Bleacher Report's all-time top 100 NBA players list. And I don't know if it's just me, but I have pretty huge problems with this placement on the list, because in my estimation, Giannis Antetokounmpo is reaching top 17 to top 15 range, and I don't really think there's a way that you can dispute this. They had guys like David Robinson and Dr. J and Dirk Nowitzki over Giannis, but I think just from a Dirk Nowitzki standpoint, maybe I'm crazy, but I think Giannis Antetokounmpo at this point, at age 30, has cleared Dirk Nowitzki, and I'm not all for these GOAT debates and who's better than what player all time. I like respecting players of each generation, but I think it's pretty clear and conclusive that despite not having all the tenure in the world and not having these kind of counted stats that Dirk has with scoring because he's finished his career already, Giannis Antetokounmpo has beaten out Dirk Nowitzki in terms of accolades, in terms of actual. You know what? I don't want to get too deep into it, but I think personally, the Giannis Antetokounmpo has passed up Dirk Nowitzki on all-time lists like this. So to see Giannis at 24 and then Dirk, I think they put him at 17. It's kind of jarring to me. And the guys in between, you can make different arguments as to which players are worthy of being in those spots. But I think specifically for Giannis at 24, Dirk at 17, that's just a huge mistake. And honestly, I believe they could be flipped because Giannis is approaching that top 15 threshold, and I think he should be up there alongside guys like Nikola Jokic, who are ascending the list at a rapid pace. And I think the one thing that I really don't understand from this is that Giannis Antetokounmpo for the past couple of years, for the past 2-3 years, and especially this past year, put up 30, 12, and 6 on 60% shooting, and he's done this a couple of times now. Well, not that specific stat line, but things close to it. For the past 2-3 years, he's placed top 3 in MVP voting, I believe, for the past 2-3 years. And somehow he moved backwards. I think originally they had him a little bit higher. I think it maybe around 22 the last time that they did a list of this nature. Now he's at 24. How does that happen when he's a consensus top 3 player in the NBA, top 3 in MVP voting year in and year out, and he just keeps statistically getting better and better with each passing year? I really don't understand how that happens, but I guess it is what it is, and you can't really look too deeply into lists of this nature. But anyways, that'll be it for me today. Thank you very much again for watching another episode of Bucks Latest presented by FanArch. I've been Dean Simon. Again, make sure to like, tell me what you think about all these things in the comments, and subscribe, turn on those post notifications to stay up to date and in the know with all the latest Milwaukee Bucks updates. I'll see you guys in the next one, and go Bucks.